Working towards. Get ready to hear our dumb thing again.
I'm glad you got back in your house, BJ.
Thank you. As am I.
Although we can't tell. You could be anywhere.
Were you chilly?
A little bit. That's why I'm still wearing the hoodie.
I think we're live. With that weird dance.
How exciting. What a build-up.
The notifications say that I'm live.
Yep.
I
It
am live.
picked-
The
it
rest of you
picked
don't matter.
Worst thumbnail possible. Once again, all of us just looking at something else.
When we all
Here you
pick
go.
up our
I'm inside my house.
when we all pick up our
Behold.
phones to go like, did we get the notification? Oh,
Yeah,
it's
no.
thumbnail.
There's a picture of me up there.
Yep. All right.
Let's be in hell today.
Well, have I got news for you? There's a tweet.
All right. Twitter's a thing.
There's a post. Quit.
Frivolity.
Oh, I meant to talk about that kind of stuff before.
Yeah.
Before we went on the line, but Tommy is coming into town because he has to do some work in St. Augustine, so he's coming into town this weekend. If anybody wants to see Tommy,
I mean, I can't. I mean,
he has been taking a new medication, so he is much less gross.
yeah, it's not the outside that I was concerned with.
Yeah. I mean, he ain't vaccinated, is he? Is that the new medication? The vaccine?
No, I do not think so. No.
Then sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I'll see you in November, Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
If that convention even still exists.
Well, I did mention to him the other convention, and the conditions under which we will be attending or not attending said convention.
Which means none of us are driving down to pick him up.
Oh no. He's got a new
Yeah, I
car,
was
so
gonna
he
say
doesn't
He
need.
has a car that works now.
Oh.
In theory.
Yeah.
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 Got a new car.
That request last time was fantastic.
What he wanted? That's right. He did. He wanted somebody to come down to Palm Beach to pick him up and then come back up to Orlando. Right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Thus adding like 6 hours to the trip.
Yes.
Correct.
Making it worse than the Atlanta trip.
Yeah. Take the
Yes.
mega bus.
Take the Vinga bus for all I fucking care.
Yeah.
Dude. I feel like we should do the sad down tempo version of that for like a 2021.
The minor key Venga bus.
The finger bus is coming.
And everybody's jumping.
Hey, there we are.
Six Flags. 6 Randall flags over New York.
Well,
When you put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what's happening.
Now I feel like
Yeah.
if we should get this on Funny or Die immediately, while the stand is still fresh in nobody's memory, because
I'd
nobody
already
watched
forgotten about it.
Because nobody watched that show.
I was the only one who watched it, and I forgot about it.
Maybe
I'm not gonna
Paramount
be
Plus.
recommending that tomorrow.
Maybe Paramount Plus will change all that because they're gonna
Yeah.
get all the subscribers. Or people be like, the stand will be like, what if Randall's Six Flags? Dun, 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 dun.
The only thing I know about the stand, the new version, is that Trash Can Man was a choice. That's all I've been told about it.
Sure was.
The direction they took was a choice.
It literally one of the worst character performances I've ever seen.
Oh, wow.
Sweet.
Like,
That is a
like I
powerful
think he was
statement.
doing what the director asked him to do, but it literally made me want to turn off the television every time he came on screen. Like I was just like, I can't listen to this guy. I can't. He's just jacking off and screaming the whole time. I don't want this. I realize it's a cable streaming show, and everyone has to be jacking off all the time because that's the only thing you do on cable now is show floppy dicks and jacking off. But I don't need it in the stand.
What TV are you watching, Chuck?
The one with all the floppy dicks and jacking off. And I
Ranger
know
Ken.
because every time it happens, my kid walks through the room like fucking clockwork.
Like, hey, what's up with that floppy dick?
It's always just like we could be watching, the most obvious thing. Game of Thrones is like, what pornography are you watching, family? Every time. Never fails.
I do appreciate that. Like, once Game of Thrones got past like season 5, they're like, no nudity ever again. We're done here. Just dragons and shit.
Yeah.
Well, once you got dragons, you don't like.
Yeah, the dong money.
Okay,
went to
you do.
dragons.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
like the first season was like, I swear to God, it felt like
Oh,
half
yeah.
of it was like, blong, and then by the 6th season, they're just like, no, it's all plot now.
But was it?
Well, it
To
didn't
get to a
6
plot
and
where it's
7.
all plot.
Yeah.
I didn't say it was good plot.
Oh,
I said
right,
it was
right.
plot.
Plot.
Plotting plot.
Let's hurry up so I can eat my Doritos. Brought to you by Doritos.
Okay, well, we can go. I'm
Oh,
ready.
Whatever, man. You
Uh,
could
do
eat
you-
your Doritos outside, but whatever.
Do you have anything, sir? We have discussed.
I don't. I am
what we
good.
have. Okay, so
I'm
you're just
good.
gonna chime
I
in.
am-
Just mute your
on
mic and
us.
eat some Doritos.
Just here for Doritos. Yeah,
Yeah, man,
I might just do that.
it's your life.
yeah.
Just walk around screaming, jacking off. You can do that.
I like when
just mute your
when
mic.
your jacket disappears and you become hell, which keeps happening with your background.
Yeah. Ooh, let me
Yeah.
see if I can make that.
Yeah. Yeah, you just become a floating head in the middle of hell every once in a while, and then
That's
it
pretty
pops
neat.
back in.
So,
Maybe
Chuck,
my Doritos. Can
Maybe
help.
it could have been
Yes.
could have been the 3 Doritos.
I have 25 and a half minutes of recording. Should I just stop it and
Yeah, why don't you
restart?
toss that? I don't want that.
Almost half of me is hell.
I got only like 3 minutes, so we can leave that.
I haven't started recording yet.
But you said the thing that you say when you're recording.
I was
Yeah.
checking my levels.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
How do I sound to you, BJ? Is my level adequate?
Yeah, you sound
Okay.
perfect. Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay. Here comes a clap.
Wait,
Wait, what?
I'm not recording.
God.
Also, my volume level just got jacked. Hang on a second.
Oh no. I'm walking around jacking it now and screaming.
It's all that jacking.
Hang on.
All those volume levels. Oh man,
Goodbye, Chuck.
Well, I can't stage freeze if I got to invite him back in.
Yeah, where'd he go? What is he
You
doing?
can just click the link.
It's not last time. He tried to start a whole new room because he stormed out earlier. Like
Yeah, we made him storm out.
Right.
And he came back.
it was like a very weak storm out because then he had to be like, "Can you let me back in? I locked myself out of my apartment." I mean, I confused things. I'm sorry. Jokes are here for him.
I know that, like, so I've done this once in the last 5 years, but it's going to be a thing now because that's the way.
What, locking yourself
That's
out?
the way. Yep. It'd be like, oh, hey, why are you late? Did you lock yourself out of the apartment again?
Oh no, it's not going to be that. I'm not going to keep bringing it up. I mean,
Somebody will.
It's just yeah. I got plenty of stupid I've done this week.
Yeah, you did break a laptop
I
this
did,
week. So yeah.
R.I.P. Dead Dale.
Hey, Chuck's back.
Hey, check it out. It's Chuck.
You guys
Hey,
switched
it's me.
places. Now he's
Hello,
not
friend.
heating up my snow mountain.
I'm sorry. You're what?
My snow mountain.
It's no mountain.
It's the K-12, dude. All right, should we do
What
the
is this?
thing?
35. Hour 035.
is
Yes. Okay.
Okay. 35, you say.
I do say.
Okay.
All right. I'm ready whenever you gentlemen are ready.
I'm ready.
Oh, are you ready? Wheat clap sauce. All right, welcome to the BMFcast
Hey, BMFcast.
Variety Hour.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey, variety hour.
We're just gonna keep making you think it's gonna be the real thing, but not yet.
It is 1 hour of variety.
Yeah.
Or more.
It's about number 35 of these things. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot. It's too many.
And
It's almost...
It's almost too many? Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's almost the anniversary of the first variety hour.
Yay!
Yay!
Mm-hmm. And we're coming up on a BMFcast anniversary, too.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay! What's the BMFcast?
I don't know. Oh, I'm Harlow.
I'm
Of the
Matt.
BMFcast, yeah.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
Yeah.
We are the BAMFcast.
And
Oh.
we used to do a thing, like a well thought out, not really thing. At least there was structure. And now
There was some structure.
Now we just talk about things like every other podcast and TV show, where it's just like, I don't know, what are you doing in your house? I don't know, what are you doing in your house? It's pretty much all talk shows and podcasts now. 'Cause that's where we are.
Yep.
But hey, what have you been watching in your house? Anyone who has new things?
Mackie's got a new thing.
I have a new thing we talked about last week, but we'll talk about it again. I watched The Map of Tiny Perfect Things, which Chuck recommended. And
Yeah.
Chuck was right. I liked that movie.
Yay!
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 Yeah, I mean,
Hooray.
I don't know. I don't know if I can add a ton to what was discussed last week, but it is nice to have one of these where the people are just like enjoying that world they're in, and there's actual real motivations for them to stay in that world and not treat it like their own personal hell, which I like.
Yes.
Like they're not cynical bastards, and I think that's really refreshing to have a movie like that where it's just they're pretty positive about things.
Yeah,
And,
they're all about having fun.
yeah. Like it's basically the kid is almost treating it like I'm in a video game and I like this level, so I'm just gonna keep playing it and see what happens. And and I just like that the conceit. The actual name of the movie. Yes, it sucks for search engine optimization or whatever the fuck you want to deal with, but I think it's a terrific title, and I'm sure it's one that the director fought for, to keep that title, because I'm sure somebody was like, how about we just call it Time Loop, and he's like, and he was probably like, no, fuck you.
What about Teen Time?
Yeah.
What about Groundhog Day 2?
TOO.
And he was like, no, this is kind of like the ethos of the movie. It makes total sense when you watch the movie. And
It does. It's fitting once you've seen it, but like going into it, you're like, man, I'm never going to remember this title.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But like once you've watched it, you're like, that's a terrific title. That's a perfect title for that movie. But either way, I couldn't get over how that one dude, the main dude, his name is not Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but it's Kyle Allen. But he looks just like Joseph Gordon-Levitt to me, and it weirded me out for a lot of it. But
Yeah. I was convinced he was someone's relative at some point. I was like, I know you from your DNA from someone else. You're a faction of this person. But no.
Is he? Did you do like a celebrity genealogy on him?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
It left my brain as soon as the movie was over. I was like, he's fine. I don't know who he is, but whatever.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, personally, I hacked into his 23andMe and found out that no, he is not related to anybody.
Oh, okay.
He literally
Oh,
has
that's
no
weird.
family. No, but it's a nice, charming, good movie. I mean, it's obviously aimed more at a teen audience, but I don't have a problem with that. Like so few of them, I'd say like actually work for adults, so to speak. But I really enjoyed it. I'm not sure what else to say other than I like time loop movies. This is a good one of them.
Yeah,
And it's got likable characters that are, enjoying being there.
Yeah. I appreciate that it reminded me of Edge of Tomorrow, because I always kind of forget that movie. And then when I do remember it, it's just boiled down to that's the movie where they changed the title to fucking terrible Live, Die, Repeat. But I always forget that that's also a time loop movie. I'm like, oh, right, that's a time loop movie.
Yeah. And I also like that they use a lot of shorthand as far as like the editing goes, and just like his attitude towards other characters to let you know, okay, this is a different day.
Yeah.
He's like, he's heard this conversation 20 times now, and he's bored that it's not going anywhere different. You know, they use a lot of shorthand and shortcuts, you know, kind of like Palm Springs did, where it's just like, yeah, just we know that shit. Like, move on. And I kind of like that time loop movies have hit that point now. So
Yeah. But it makes it interesting then when they react differently in a way that the character's not expecting, and then the character's like, wait, why are you saying that? Why are you not doing this thing that I'm expecting you to do? That's kind of what I meant about that movie playing with you about what's going on in the loop.
yeah, because there's a point late in the movie where I was suddenly like, holy shit, this other character's in on it too.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, are just people like plucking out of this? Like, are more and more people getting into this loop somehow? So it plays with a lot of that, and I like that.
Yeah, and I'll say, I mean, it's a fairly predictable movie. You know, it's not like the big revelations are gonna be like, holy shit. You know, it's like, no, that's kind of what I figured. You know, like there's a lot of that sort of thing, but it's still enjoyable. You know,
Yeah, it's not, you know, like, oh, it's a spooky rock in a cave. You know, it's not that.
Yeah, but it's definitely one of those movies that's more about like the journey than the destination.
Right.
So.
Yep. It's on Amazon. You should watch it.
And that's not to say that it doesn't resolve well, but it, you know, it's not like you're going to have your mind blown by the way they escape the loop or whatever. You know, there's nothing like that.
Okay, so it sounds like I would like it. Should I also watch The Edge of Tomorrow, Live, Die, Repeat?
Yes.
The
Oh,
Edge
absolutely.
of Tomorrow, Live, Die.
You should
Yes.
absolutely
Yes.
watch that. That movie
100%,
rules.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
They gave it a really dumb title, but that movie is awesome.
Yeah. The things involving that title wrecked that movie, but that movie fucking rules.
Okay.
It is. That movie's legit. It's great.
Also, something happened with your mic. It went weird. You sound...
Me?
No, BJ. Like, I don't know, when you covered the mic or something, it's like you are like... Is it just me? But he sounds like... Say some more. You sound like you're kind of almost blown out.
I am now saying some more. Does it sound super weird?
I don't know. It's just sort of digitized. Am I the only one
It
hearing
was
that?
digitized at the start.
Yeah.
Now it seems all right.
I think
Let me-
that's Zoom.
Let me try. I did change a setting, so let me change it back.
Yeah.
And so now I've changed it back. Does it sound super weird now?
No, you sound normal.
That's normal.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it was like digitizing right at the start,
Yeah.
and then it normalized as it went.
Okay. I turned the noise suppression, the Zoom noise suppression from auto to high.
Yeah.
That might have caused it to be a little bit weird.
That's for robots.
I think that's almost like if you have like dogs barking next to you and you don't want the,
Yeah.
the-
If you're
Yeah.
also mowing the lawn while on Zoom.
Well, that's what RTX voice is supposed to do, but for some reason it just doesn't seem to work very well anymore. Like I'm still seeing
A lot of people have been complaining about that. That
Yeah.
It just like it used to be good, and now it's just not all of a sudden.
I think that it's just sheer speculation. I think that NVIDIA changed something about their drivers to make it not work because it's a standalone application.
Sounds
All
great.
all it's doing is running off of, it's using your video card's processing power. So, yeah, I might just drop it all together and you have to deal with tippity tap sounds occasionally.
Well, you just
Anyway.
need to get a 3080, and then it'll work fine.
If I could find, I swear to God, I've been looking for a 3060 because I'm pretty sure a 3060 will do me just fine, but there are less than zero available.
Yep.
Oh.
Do we want to try to have an edit there or just go back in?
I don't care.
I just didn't know. Like, if you were done, then
I was done.
Well, no. I mean, if you're done talking about the map of tiny perfect things, then I could just segue into a new thing, and you got an easy
Because
edit.
we were talking about Edge of Tomorrow rules.
Right.
BJ should watch it.
And then it was like time out, and I could just
It's like,
like,
hey, BJ, you're a robot.
Then I was like, all we have to do is segue out of it, and we got a good edit.
You got it.
So once I finished watching Live, Die, Tomorrow, The Edge of Repeat,
No.
what's
yeah.
another? Are there
Don't
any
ever
other
say
good
that
movies out
sequence
there?
of words again.
Someone will make that movie if you're not careful. If we
Yeah.
say that again.
They're already making that movie.
The people
So
who
once
made like
I've-
the date movie, dance movie, those things will show up and make that fucking thing.
Okay.
So once
BJ.
I've watched that,
Yeah. So
Yes.
Edge of Tomorrow, definite 100%. You've
Yeah.
already seen Palm Springs. Love Palm
Yes.
Springs. Have you watched Happy Death Day yet? Or Happy
have
Death
not.
Day to You?
No.
Yeah,
You
you
should
should watch
watch
those. Those should
both
be
of those.
probably next. Didn't you watch
Are those
Freaky and
also
you
time
liked
loop movies?
Freaky? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's totally what they are. I mean, you
Oh,
like.
I had no idea.
Yeah, you
Okay.
liked Freaky, and it's less gory than. I mean, they're more family friendly than Freaky was, but it's the same
Okay.
guy and the same kind of like. Yeah, all
Yeah, I
right,
don't-
but time loop.
I don't really care about gore. I'm not turned off by gore. I've seen probably the worst thing that anybody could randomly come across in their entire life.
That's true.
So
Well, I just know you're not like particularly a horror movie
Not a big-
fan. They're not
right,
really
yeah.
horror-ish. It's
No,
really
they're time loop
Okay.
movies.
It's like
with
it
the-
starts as a horror movie and then it's like, nah, surprise, time loop. You know?
Yeah.
okay.
yeah.
And then I would argue the second one's not a horror
Yeah,
movie
not
at
even
all.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So
yeah, watch those two.
Live Tomorrow, Die Repeat, Edge.
God damn it.
Happy Death Day to You, and Happy Death Day.
And
Yeah.
Yes, in the other
Watch
order.
Happy Death Day first.
Right. I figured that out. I just said I accidentally said Happy Death Day to You because the title for the first one seems like it should be Happy Death Day to You, and then
No,
Happy Death
that
Day
is
to
the
You
second
too.
one. The one
So
with
the
two
third
in
one-
title
Would you
is
like
the-
Would you like me to explain what the Taxi sequels are again, like I had to for Chuck?
The third one should be Happy Death Day to You too.
Sure.
I don't know.
Just like District B13 is the sequel to District 9.
Correct. They're actually, I think they're making a sequel to
They
District
are.
9.
They are.
But there's
Are
also
they
a
going to
sys-
call it District 10?
there's also a sequel to District B13 or B13. Yeah, there's yes.
Oh, The Raid.
is district is the sequel to District B13 should be District 10, and then the sequel to District 9
Well,
should be District
'cause
14.
Because The Raid Redemption is the sequel to The Raid.
It gets stupider because here's the thing: like with District B13,
No, it is not.
District B13 was not really supposed to be the name of the movie. It's just supposed to be called District 13, and which would have confused people. And they changed it for two reasons: B, because they knew District 9 was also being made, but it's in French, and Balianu or whatever is the word for district. So everywhere it says B13, and so like it's supposed to be just District 13 in French. But
Oh, so
they
now
were
it's
like
District.
Well, they
District
were like
13.
everyone's going to just see B13 everywhere. We should call it District B13. And then they were like, well, for the sequel, we're just going to call it District 13 Ultimatum. And then it's like, so they dropped the B. It just makes it even more confusing.
So the first one is District Superscript 2.
Yes.
13. And the second one is District 13 Requiem for a 13.
Right. I believe you're right. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Reasons why. Yes.
All right, this is great. So I should watch Happy Death Day and then Happy Death Day to You.
Correct.
You
and
did it.
then and then
Live, Die, Repeat.
Edge of Tomorrow, Live, Die, Repeat.
Yes.
And then The Place of Many Perfect Things.
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
Nope.
Map of Tiny Perfect Things.
Map of Tiny Perfect Things. That's it.
Place of Many Perfect Things.
I thought it was the map of tiny perfect things, right? Isn't that
It
the name?
is,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
Yes.
Jesus. Now I'm confused.
A map shows a place. That's the same thing.
You were correct.
You're partway there. Yes.
The
I'm
place where titles are kind of corrupt.
I talked to Tommy for an hour today, so my brain,
yeah.
I got
Yeah.
You're right.
contact brain goo. So,
Yeah, with the new 5G, that just it just sucks your brain out even faster.
yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
So, Harlow,
Yes,
have you watched a 2021 movie?
I have actually. Yes, I every once in a while. So what I kind of do is I will just wander into a streaming service that I kind of forget that I have periodically, and just be like, "Hey, what's here?" And
Hey, what y'all got?
so
Y'all got any movies?
like so I did this recently with Apple TV Plus. I was like, oh yeah, I have this. Like it was first from buying a phone or whatever, and then signed up for the family just give me everything because it's actually cheaper to give me iTunes Match and whatever. So I still have it. Otherwise, I just don't think it would probably be one of the things I would say you have to have.
Yeah.
But there are some good things there. As I said, that Raven's Banquet, Mythic Quest, whatever thing is on there, which I liked. But I wandered on the movies section, which I keep meaning to watch the Tom Hanks Greyhound movie, but I just haven't been, like war movie mood lately. So,
Yep.
so I just settled on watching a movie called Palmer with Justin Timberlake, and then mostly a bunch of people you're not going to recognize. I mean, Juno Temple's in it, which you probably seen her in a couple things, but like mostly it's kind of unknown people after that. Yeah, it's like one of those things. It's a really good movie. It's not exactly mind blowing or anything. It's probably not going to change the world. I mean, it is a nice story because it's basically set in this rural town in Louisiana. Justin Timberlake plays an ex-convict who just kind of was a star athlete in life, kind of took a bad path, ended up getting caught, comes back from jail, moves in with his grandmother, and next door is kind of a drug-addled lady with a kid who's, I don't know if I would say full transgendered, but definitely like, gender different, like he's just kind of identifies as a girl. It's never really made clear because the kid's only like 8 years old. It's like he probably doesn't even really know yet. So, but it's just, in this place where it's like being different's probably not a good thing in this small ass town in Louisiana. But it's just this story of like even, how he has to kind of come around on it and, take care of the kid because terrible mother, yada, yada. So it's just ends up being this like really touching movie that's like directed by Fisher Stevens, like of all people, and really strange. But yeah, it's just a solid movie. And I said, like, if you're in the mood for like a good ugly cry, like where you're just like, oh, I can't believe this is actually working out, kind of happy, cry or whatever thing, where it's just like that kind of like happy cry. Yeah, I call that the good ugly cry. So like like the end of Babe or something. That's my good ugly cry.
Homeward Bound.
Yeah, those kind of things. Yeah, so I'm saying like this is like, yes, this is a feel good thing all in all when all's said and done. So I liked it a lot. I like it a lot.
Well, good.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's.
I loved when that movie came out because there were just web ads everywhere. That was just Justin Timberlake's head, and it just said Palmer, and I was like, "The fuck is this?"
Not a great title, really. Yeah, I mean, because it's just his character's last name, which is the name he chooses to go by. Because football, it was just like, "Hey, Palmer, get in there," and so and it's just, yeah, it's like not much of a title, but it's a good movie otherwise. Yeah, I feel like it's just one of those things where it's like it's also like I wouldn't classify it necessarily as a parents movie. Like it's got more to say than that because like it's definitely like, oh yeah, just be like this has the hallmarks of like being a Hallmark movie. So I'm just saying like you could say like, oh yeah, it's super happy Apple movie. Like all the differences will be solved by just if you do like movies say, like I'm saying there's a little bit more to it than just like a Hallmark, like it'll be fine if we just keep making happy movies. So I'm saying like there's good performances and stuff all around. So yeah.
Well, that's what you get when you watch a Fisher Stevens movie.
Yeah, I sometimes quality just pops up in random places. Who knows? I wasn't even aware he was directing things, to be honest. And I saw that and I was like, that can't be that Fisher Stevens, right? Like, but it is.
Yeah, he's got to do something.
And while I was in there, because as I just like
while I was in there,
well, I'm saying like while I was at Apple TV Plus, I was like,
what else you got?
Yeah, what else do you have? And again, I was like, Greyhound, nah, still not more movie time. And then I was like, hey, look, that's got Bill Murray, that's Rashida Jones. I like both of those people. Oh, it's directed by Sofia Coppola too. I generally mostly like what she does as well. I should watch this, and that's a movie called On the Rocks, which is on Apple TV Plus as well. I think that dropped sometime last year. I don't know exactly when. Yeah. It's one of those things like I started watching this movie and I was like, oh my god, this might be Chuck's kryptonite, because you were just talking about how you're like New York centric movies are you're just the worst thing to you.
Well, I would be interested in more modern day New York centric movies. The 80s subsection of New York movies are just the worst.
I mean, but this one, like, so this one's
Why,
weird.
you don't like cocaine?
No, it has nothing to do. I'm not talking about like the party crowd. It's like the weird bohemian, he only sculpts statues of Popeye and she, finds trash and
I think you're talking about House
it.
Hunters. That sounds like the plot for House Hunters.
Basically, yes. They took every 80s character and they put them on House Hunters.
Yeah. So their budget is $7.3 billion.
Yes.
And they can buy a one-bedroom apartment in the Upper East Side. But yeah, this movie is like it's weird because it is like this. I'm going to invoke his name, and then I'm going to reverse it in just a moment.
Oh, I know
but
what you're gonna say.
well, I'm saying it's got this like Woody Allen-ish New York vibe of like, I'm saying that like, look at like these places and these things that only New Yorkers know, right? And then, but it's like the thing is like, but then the movie is really it's better and different than that. It's totally enveloped in that kind of aesthetic, but if anything, it was kind of like, oh, if you were like, I sure am going to lament that style of movie that Woody Allen makes, you know, and being able to watch it without associating with him, this is, if nothing else, kind of like a, oh, other people are perfectly capable of making a kind of, you know, just sort of touching look at New York. Even, you know, this is a little hoity-toity on the side of things because it's like, let's go to these like really ritzy, famous places and stuff. But, you know, her Bill Murray's father of Rashida Jones has money, like lots of money apparently, and it's just like, yeah, whatever. Like, here's a expensive ass watch, no big deal. You know, it's kind of thing.
So it's one of those movies where New York is a character.
It's kind of a character, but it's like it's also like it's just kind of a bungling thing, because it's like he basically convinces Rashida Jones that her semi-new husband is cheating on her based on like him having cheated on her mother when he was younger. He was like, I know all the signs, and basically kind of like stokes this paranoia in her until they like start like following him around and shit, and you know, yeah, like it's one of those things where it's like, there's so much about the plot and whatnot of this movie, I'd be like, no, I don't think so. But it just kind of works, not in no small part because of Bill Murray's performance, because Sofia Coppola kind of knows how to get like just the right amount of Bill Murray and then, you know, keep it back. You know, like, we want you to like turn on the Bill Murray and like sing a song here in your kind of goofy way, but like you need to also bring it around and not just like, you know, like you're doing the theme from Star Wars, you know, like, you know, and it's just like she knows how to like coax that right amount of like flamboyant, arrogant thing that he can do, but also just be like, all right, but you're still kind of lovable, even though you're like a super colossal asshole too. You know, it's like, yeah, it's
That's
just
Bill Murray.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's got a line of this. It's just like it sums up his character so well, of this like self-awareness of how terrible he actually kind of is. And yeah, it's a fun movie. It's kind of inconsequential, but it's worth a watch. Like I said, if nothing else, it's like, I like the people. And the other thing is also, I'm still continually amazed, because if I had a betting pool in like the mid 90s, I would not have guessed that Marlon Wayans would be the Wayans brother that would go on to be like a legit actor. Like, I'm just saying, like, if you go back in time of like all of them, I was like, I would have been like, no, Damon Wayans is the one that I'm pretty sure can pull the straight man. Like, I'm going to go real act, you know, like Marlon Wayans is goofy as shit and he can't do it. But Requiem for a Dream, it's like, he's, you know, like he could totally play totally normal dude. And that's just first two things that popped in his head, but in my head. But it's like, guy's got some range, surprisingly. But yeah,
Lots of talent in that Wayans family.
and I'll wrap up because I kind of semi-segged in the middle of that. But yeah, I watched I basically decided I'm not going to envelop myself in sad sack documentaries or whatever. But it being only 4 episodes, I'm going to see the fucking Woody Allen thing through. I'm just gonna, like, you know, like,
Sure,
I can handle that much, you know, like,
Finish the fight.
yeah. So yeah, I watched the second one and oh yeah, damn. I mean, the first one's like, the first one is not pulling punches, but it's sort of like, yeah, like, and the second one's just like, like just haymakers left and right. Of like, no, you're not getting back up, Woody Allen. Just like, stay the fuck down. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just saying the second one's kind of just like these, like, you know, I don't know, just kind of got him on the ropes a little bit. Second one's just like, flip. Like, yep, all right, you're done. Yeah.
So the first episode was the rope-a-dope, and then
Kind of, yeah. It was just like, well, I'm not on board with it. The second one was like, Jesus, all right, Christ, just fucking execute him in the square now. Yeah.
So what the hell are 2 more episodes
I
going
know,
to do?
I literally have no idea. So yeah, I mean, I hope at some point, like it, because it's HBO documentaries, and I don't expect it to. I would hope, actually, for it to have some sort of ending of hope, like where it's like, no, I'm just being like Dylan Farrell, like being like, look, here, my life isn't completely ruined. Like here, like, you know, like it's not good, obviously, but like, you know, it's not all 100% misery day in and day out. You know, like just some sort of like retribution that needs to happen, but also I'm not dead. You know, like I don't know, just something where it's like, it'll be be okay. Like I said, I feel like too many things, and I've said this about biopics. It's like pointing out a problem is all well and good, but like you need to give people a reason to get past it. Like I feel like that's where like our attention span as humans kind of begins and ends. Of like, tell me about the tragedy, and then victims, okay, and then it's over. And it's like, I'd like a story where it's like, what happens to the victims? What did they have to go through? Because I feel like, understanding the years of therapy and how, if they got to a point where they're okay is part of exploring the whole story, and it's like everything is just like, yeah, check out this tragedy, y'all, and then peace, but I know it's not going to go there in 4 episodes. It's like, it's way too sensitive and deep of a subject, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, speaking of deep and meaningful,
sorry for digging you in a hole there.
I know where this is going.
do you?
I probably do too, because I think I know what you watched, and I don't know why, but yes, I do.
I watched the deep and meaningful 2021 film Tom and Jerry.
That movie's what I think it is, isn't it?
The latest free to theaters. Now it's on HBO Max because coronavirus movie.
Freeater.
Yeah. That's a film.
I have a question, because I have next to no knowledge, and you're the only person besides myself in investing 90 or so minutes, which I don't feel like doing, to find out myself. Was this filmed like during the pandemic? Like, as I saw,
No.
Well, no, I saw like a clip, just random YouTube-ish, of like Mr. Scarlett Johansson. I refuse to learn that guy's name because he's nothing. But yeah, whatever. I'm just saying, like, it was
Colin
him.
Jost.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I'm saying I don't know, like. So like he's a new Jimmy Fallon. It's like I see him and it's blank, So yeah. But like it was him talking. I think it was Seth Meyers or something like that, and it was like I think they were showing a scene from the movie, because it was like one of those, like, the YouTube clip was like coming in on the end of it just so you would have enough reference to when they talk about it.
Yeah.
It was just like, but so they didn't show the entire clip, but it looked like it was him and Hit Girl Chloe Grace Moretz like talking, and it looked like she visibly had a lapel mic on her outfit. Like,
No,
clearly...
she's a hotel concierge. It was a communication thing.
Okay, I was just like, is this some meta, like, we're just making, like,
No.
us recording this movie in a room? Because, I mean, it was also, like, this weird Spartan white room, and I was like,
Yeah.
is this just, like, some meta thing? Like, I don't know, we cranked out a Tom and Jerry movie in the pandemic, and look, we're in a white room, and recording
No,
the
she works in
voices.
a big hotel,
Okay,
and
okay.
she's a wedding coordinator
All right.
and trying to put together their wedding. And
Okay.
Tom and Jerry's wedding?
Sorry, did not mean to derail that. I just saw that. I was like,
Congratulations,
I was
Tom
like,
and
what
Jerry.
the fuck is going on in this movie that looks like this?
The weird thing is that Tom and Jerry are supporting characters in the movie that's called Tom and Jerry. It's really about all these actual people. They are just kind of a nuisance that they've shown up at this hotel and are causing chaos. And every so often, the real humans have to, like, go
Wait a
deal with
minute.
them.
Now,
Wait,
is this animated? No. Are they animated?
It's a mix. It's every animal in this film is animated.
But like
all the people
classic
in the
animated,
film,
or like Garfield, we're kind of trying to make it look like a bullshit CG cat in the world.
it's not 2D animation.
Well, yeah, I was
It's-
wondering, like, is it like they like Roger Rabbit? It looks like they look like the old Tom and Jerry.
It's Roger Rabbit ish.
Okay.
But every single animal in the film is a cartoon,
Okay.
even if it doesn't need to be. Like, just passing by, just like, oh, here's a bird. That bird is a cartoon.
Okay.
It's just, for whatever reason, in this world, animals are cartoons. No one points it out. No one says, why are all the animals cartoons? It's just accepted.
Why are all the people instead of cartoons? And why
guess
do
they
we see
wanted-
them from anything above the knee in a Tom and Jerry? That's what I want to know.
There are many
the world
questions.
demands answers, Chuck.
There are many questions that need to be asked about this. It's from the director of the first two Fantastic Four movies.
Oh, Tim Story.
Yeah, so I guess he had a vision of a live action cartoon blend.
No,
they
I'm
figured-
sure
they figured
said, we
four-
need somebody to make this.
Okay,
Yeah. 4
And
characters
he
was
said,
too much
okay.
for him,
Yeah.
so he was like 2.
two
Is the right number of characters for me to be behind.
special
Yeah.
effects.
Yeah.
I can deal with the rest of these actors. So it's not great. Like, I don't even know why it was made. Like, there was no, oh man, we need to get the Tom and Jerry IP back in people's faces. I don't understand why. However, Michael Pena is fucking killing it in this movie. He is so good. Like, he doesn't care that he's in a shitty Tom and Jerry movie. He's fucking going for it. He's going for it in like Ant-Man kind of ways, and it's great. Like, he's fantastic. Like, I would say push play on this movie and just kind of tolerate some of the shit to get to all the Michael Pena scenes, because they are great. Like, legit great. And he's in it too much for like a compilation reel. He's in the whole movie. So there are some good jokes in there. There are some weird ass references that people are not going to get. There's references to Young Frankenstein and the Warriors, and I don't know. It's odd. It's one of those things where
probably
you're just
the bones they threw to people our age and be like, yeah, I used to watch Tom and Jerry. I guess I'll have to sit and watch this with my kids. And
I guess, but it's you were constantly saying to the screen, who is this for?
Okay.
Like, who did you make this for? Yeah, I mean, whatever. I didn't hate myself when it was over. I was like, yeah, I don't know why that exists, but I was kind of interested in the human story. Like, I didn't give a shit about Tom and Jerry because they're just fucking wrecking everything, and it's just like, why is no one murdering these two animals? But whatever. It's fine. It's not Chuck fine. It's not like, yeah, you could watch that, but like, eh. If you walked into a room and it was on, you wouldn't be like, oh my God, put a bullet in my brain. It's just like, okay, this is that joke's all right.
okay.
There's nothing in it that's there's nothing in it that's stupid. Like, there's nothing in it there where you're just like, God damn it, fuck this thing. It's just, what is this? Why did you make this? Who is it for? That's the biggest complaint I have for it. It's not like, this is insulting, this is embarrassing, how dare you? It's not that level of a movie. It is just, I don't know why I made it, but
Wasn't there a Tom and Jerry movie, I want to say, in like the 80s or 90s?
there was a 90s cartoon. I watched that too.
Well, I mean, oh, okay. Was it what? But it was a movie, right?
Yes.
Didn't they talk then
They
for
did,
some reason?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That not only do they talk, it's a musical.
Sure.
Yeah, they start talking and they're like, "Wait, why are you talking?" And they're like, I didn't have anything to say to you before." And then they sing, and it was Turner trying to capitalize on Disney shit, really.
Is
but
it
it's
better
bad.
or worse than the new one?
Oh, it's worse. It's almost unwatchable. Like, that thing, just, I let it play out. I wasn't even watching it after about 25 minutes. I was just like, okay, I got this. I don't care. But I mean, I paid attention to the newest one, and like I said, Michael Pena, good stuff.
What's your level? This is sidebar kind of question, but what's your level of exposure with some of these other ones? Like, did you watch the Smurfs movies, any of the Chipmunks or Garfields or Scooby Doo's or any of these other things?
Nope.
Okay.
And I've seen none of them.
So
Okay.
you've never seen Garfield: A Tale of Two Kitties?
No, I haven't. I have not. I saw Marmaduke with Harlow.
That's true. We did see that.
We watched Marmaduke with Owen Wilson.
Yeah. Oh wow. I'm a big red dog. Oh wait, he's not red. That's
Marmaduke.
Clifford. Shit.
Huh.
Oh wow. I'm a big dog.
I love impression time on the BMFcast.
The best.
It's fun. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to. Anybody else have anything?
I can't
Really,
say real
dude.
quick, I watched Bottle Rocket just because we're talking about Owen Wilson,
Oh, yeah.
which
Bottle rocket.
which is the first verified instance on film of him saying "wow." So that's very important.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I just find it funny that all the Wilson brothers are in that movie and none of the characters are related to each other. It's Owen and Luke Wilson palling around. I'm like, come on. You're not fooling me that they're not related.
Yeah.
Just because one has dark hair and the other is blonde, they're both the exact same person.
And it's so weird seeing him with that crew cut too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about Bottle Rocket. That movie's just kind of, eh.
Yeah, I actually saw something about it recently. Apparently, that was a short that got turned into a full length movie. So it was really just kind of like, not that he was contractually obligated to make it. It was just like, hey, we like this short, make it a full length thing. And I think he was kind of like, I'd much rather do something else. But all right, like, what are you going to do? Like, not say no to a shot, or
Yeah.
or not say no, just say no.
Yes.
Whatever. You know what I mean.
And I read a bunch of stuff about that movie, like it was like the worst screen or the worst focus tested movie in the history of Columbia Pictures or whatever. And
Really?
yeah, and like the Wilsons were convinced that they were going to have to go get like garbage men jobs. They were just like, we have no career. Wow, we have no careers. So,
Gotta
but,
go into sanitation.
but they did okay, I guess. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, I enjoy Bottle Rocket only as a comparison to Rushmore. To be
Sure.
like how did you make this big a leap? Like on every level.
Yes.
in 2 years, basically.
it's remarkable the jump in quality from Bottle Rocket to Rushmore, because Rushmore I adore.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at it almost the same. I think there's a bit more going on, but it's kind of like if you go back and watch Hard 8, you know, it's like, this is clearly Paul Thomas Anderson, but it's like you went way crazier later, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, but Hard 8 is still.
I know, it's still got style and stuff. It's like, it's still like, yeah, this is him. It's just like, it's cheap comparatively.
Yeah.
Sure.
Bottle Rocket just barely feels like a Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, especially now, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no Brazilian Bowie and cartoon submarines and shit.
That's what the same movie. It's one movie.
Yeah.
That's all he's known for.
Yeah. No, it's really not.
I'm not even crazy about that movie.
I would say if
kinda
anything,
where it-
it's like it's now kind of a toss up between Grand Budapest and Rushmore, probably. I mean, because like Grand Budapest, didn't that win awards and shit? I mean, like more so than most of his stuff.
Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah.
I mean, it was nominated for a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
I'm saying like
that
his
movie
stuff doesn't usually like reach that level. It's just like, oh, that's cute, Wes Anderson. You know.
Wow.
Man, but man, Grand Budapest is really good too.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
That is a fantastic movie. But, yeah.
I realized I have one quick thing about a quick thing to say. For this
Were you watching shows on Quibi?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it a quithy?
No, it is not a. It is not a quithy or a quibby or whatever that is. So I was watching music videos from synthwave artists a few weeks ago. We kind of all were in the in the jam zone in the Discord, and there was a really striking video for one of the songs, and I was like, that is so fucking cool. I have to find out more, like, where did all this kick-ass animation come from? And it actually is it's a recut of a short, and I really don't know who made it, but it came from a company called Platige Image, Platige. But the short is called Paths of Hate, and it's this really incredibly stylistic animation of two World War II fighter pilots. And it's about 10 minutes, but it's an absolutely beautiful, like beautifully animated piece of work. And you should probably look it up. It's 10 minutes of some of the most captivating animation I've seen. That's just about two fighter pilots dogfighting each other. If you have 10 minutes, it is absolutely worth watching. And I think the related song is, well, I can't remember now. Shit. I had it right in my head. It's from like one of those turbo something or another
Gunship.
synthwave out. It's not Gunship. I don't think. I don't think it's Gunship.
I am no longer any help to you.
I know. Thank you. Thank you for trying. I could scroll back through the Jam Zone and see if I can find it.
Yeah, they do a lot of video game cinematic stuff.
I think
apparently. That company.
I gotcha. Yeah, their stuff is.
Kyle in the chat says I was right that it is Gunship.
Oh, was it Gunship?
Yeah,
that did
apparently
the-
a song, "Fly for Your Life." This is
You're
why we
right,
have
it
chat.
is.
They can fact check us on the fly.
Yeah,
Your
good
Life.
job, Kyle. Thank you so much.
Nice work.
Yeah, I didn't think it was Gunship because we were looking at. I think I was watching Carpenter Brut videos after that, but I must have gotten redirected into some Gunship again. But yeah, Gunship, Fly for Your Life. Kick-ass song, which has clipped together bits of that video, which, I mean, it looks really good in the video, too. Like, the music fits it well. So give all of those a shot. You will probably enjoy them if you like cool things. Thanks, Kyle. And thanks, Gunship.
You're welcome, PJ. I don't know what kind of ship it is.
It's like it's a space truck ship.
Yeah.
It's not a
Yeah.
space truck.
Ship.
Yeah.
Well, I
That's
wait,
like
I wait,
one.
and then that's
Yeah.
one of those kinds of ships.
Fair enough.
Bang. That's a Gunship.
Well, that was a ship
Or
gun.
bang.
Sure.
So, has anybody got anything else?
No,
Nah.
not really.
I think I'm good.
Well,
We got a Patreon. Let's talk about it,
Oh,
okay.
right?
Sure.
Yeah.
What's
Okay.
going on Patreon?
Got new shows out.
Ooh.
You guys are still doing extra.
Yeah,
That's basically as close as we're getting to the old BMFcast right now.
for now.
it is.
Yeah. Chuck and I just put out a new X-Men episode. Not all
Hashtag
X-Men.
not all X-Men.
Yes. Where we were introduced to the Blob.
We met the Blob.
Yeah.
He sucks.
And so do the X-Men.
And Professor X.
In particular, Professor X. Yeah. Yep. And then Doctor Who. Got a
Yeah.
podcast
Yeah,
about
Doctor Who
that.
You.
Yeah, we're in the Matt Smith era currently. But
Oh, congratulations.
got everything before that.
Well,
all available.
everything up to Eccleston or Eccleston and beyond. Not
Yes,
the,
modern
not
era.
Every, yeah,
Yeah, modern.
not everything. Good.
Yeah, no. Oh, no, we started in the 60s.
Yeah.
There's a couple episodes of Chuck talking about the old ones.
Yeah, I did that for half a second.
Yeah. So. but
Then I
anyway,
realized
Although-
I was doing too many things.
Yeah.
I was about to ask if the old ones are like unpalatable or something.
I think it's just
Or-
quantity. Yeah.
Yeah,
just
it's not that.
It's like
and
where
just-
do you start? And also, Chuck says that most of them are not particularly related. It's just like here's an adventure, and then blah blah blah, and next adventure. There's not a lot of continuity.
Yeah.
Nothing terribly wrong with that.
But
They're fine, and they're fine.
It just becomes a word. How do you watch it all? Because a lot of it's not available, and then it's like, well, what's the watch order? And then you're like watching 4, 5, 6 episodes in a row to get a whole story. And
It's actually, if you've got BritBox, they're in pretty good shape and pretty good
Okay.
order. Plus, they've been putting out remastered Blu-rays for all the old shit, which look really good for shitty television serials from the 60s that should not look good in HD. I guess they're using that machine learning shit to HD it up.
Nice.
Interesting.
Question.
Yeah.
Is BritBox like the best way to be watching Who in the US right now that doesn't involve a VPN or some sort of illegal stuff?
HBO Max has them all. Well,
Yeah, HBO Max has all the moderns.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Including like, is it current?
I don't know if it has season 12, but it should. I'll check. Why don't you talk about something else?
Because that's the only thing that I'm interested in for the rest of the podcast. But
I
will
refuse
mention
to talk about anything else until you find the information, Chuck.
Right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I will pivot back to the Patreon, which is patreon.com/BMFcast. It's a pretty low barrier to entry for extra stuff, but there's some extra stuff at higher tiers. Yeah, we put out a lot of content for you on the Patreon. You should give us money so that we may continue to do extra things for you and also pay for our hosting and pay for any new equipment like Mackie's new microphone.
Yeah.
And
But you're also welcome to just listen or
Yeah.
watch or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't ever want to make you feel bad.
Yeah, and the main show will always be free.
yes,
We're not going to do that to you.
Nope.
So.
we're not even sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Nope. Or some keyboards or glasses or whatever dumb things,
Yeah.
other things.
No.
Underwear.
Doctor Who on HBO. We are sponsored by HBO Max. HBO Max is.
We are.
Yeah, apparently. HBO Max is up to date on Doctor Who minus the Christmas special.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I should be able to figure out where I picked up last.
Chuck, we're not getting
Chuck
anything for those fuckers. Put the purple away.
Activates his
Put the
Zoom
purple
with
away.
Purple
Yeah.
HBO Max background. You son of a bitch. Yes, sellout fuck. We only sell out to our fans, god damn it, not to HBO Max.
I mean, I can see a potential for this show, like, to take money from things that we already like.
Yes.
I'm at the point where I'm willing to take money from things I already like.
Sure.
Oh,
but we're not going to
if
have their
HBO Max wanted to
background.
pay us,
Why HBO Max? Are they sending the advertising? Are you like fishing? Are you?
I don't know. I don't know why y'all are talking about HBO Max.
probably because we are literally the only podcast on earth that's like, hey, Tom and Jerry, it's on HBO Max.
Yeah. Chuck's our
Everyone else
corporate
is
shill.
like-
You just figured it out. He's like, oh, God damn it. It was a bridge too far with Tom and Jerry, Chuck. We saw through you.
Well, why are we still paying for HBO
Yeah.
Max then? God damn it!
I don't know. All that money's
That's
just
another
going
thing.
straight to Chuck.
Yeah, that's another thing that I'd like to mention to the listening audience who are patrons or considering becoming patrons.
Mm-hmm.
Like we pay for as much content as we can reasonably like acquire in a legal manner. So like
Oh yeah.
almost 99.99999% of the stuff we watch is gotten through the generosity of our patrons. So like we have an HBO Max account so that we can watch the Tom and Jerry and Doctor Who, I guess.
Yes.
Yes.
We have a group Hulu account so that we can watch any of the shit that comes up there.
We pretty much all have our own Amazons, but that's because of other reasons, other
Yeah.
shit that they
Right.
do. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
well, and
we
and
just
somebody-
try to keep it with what we think we can actually consume. Like we're not just
Well,
like,
I
hey,
think
give us
at
everything.
the time when we were signing up for all these things, it was, well, that movie's going to be on there. We're going to talk about that. That movie's going to be on there. We're going to talk about that. And then it just became, this is all we can talk about.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I basically brought up Apple TV Plus because it's like I have it as like it's a bystander at this point of like having
Yeah.
other Apple products and shit. It's just like, all right,
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll have that too. But yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
and we have a lot of discs
Discs.
from the day when we were actually in the studio.
Yeah.
A
we
lot
have
of the movies that we watched, we were watching on disc and then raffling them off and donating the proceeds to charity.
Yes.
Not raffling, but selling them
Auctioning.
on eBay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, auctioning on eBay and then donating the proceeds. What's the
The National
charity.
Center for Missing and Exploited Children
okay?
was the last one I think that we were using.
We've moved it around. We've done the Red Cross. We've done the ASPCA. We've
Yeah.
done, but we've done various NAACP lawyer things during that summer crisis.
Nice.
So, basically whatever's on fire at that particular moment, we're like, okay, here's some money. We
Yeah.
can't really do anything, but here's some money. So,
Yeah.
And then our backup is the NCEMC. Yeah.
the
National
Yeah.
Center for Missing
Yeah,
and Exploited
you know me.
Children.
yes.
Yeah. That's kind of our default.
Right.
So
Einstein's theory.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Children plus exploitation equals mass money.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
All right.
I thought he was just giving the abbreviation for Live Die Tomorrow.
Right.
Repeat. Happy Death
Yeah.
Day to
Live,
you.
die
Yeah.
tomorrow. Edge, repeat.
Find kids. Stop them from being exploited. Repeat. Tomorrow. Edge.
Yes.
All those things.
Yeah.
Today and tomorrow. But yeah, so your Patreon dollars are going to to all sorts of things to keep you entertained. Really, very little of it goes in our pockets, unfortunately.
Literally none.
None. We take no money from the Patreon.
Yeah. Basically, no.
Like to make that perfectly clear.
Yeah. Well, we used to every once in a
we
while
have
we
done
used to
like a
expense
couple of
hookers,
yeah.
but
No, I was gonna say every once in a while we will do a thing that like might yield content, like helping us go to a video game thing when we can do those things or stuff like
Sure.
that. But it's not like we're like, hey, crazy trip on the patrons. It's just like
I mean, if
Give me
we
my monthly blow money.
right, yeah,
if we could get to the $10,000 a month thing, maybe we could do.
We're gonna be
something
like,
that,
hey
but-
guys, like patrons exclusive content. We found out that we could save like $900 a month by just hiring our own personal chef here in the house.
right? Jesus Christ! Rather than
Rather than just having
ordering from
caviar
Benihana
like
every
being
day.
fed
Yes.
off of a naked hooker's ass every day.
Since all right, since we've mentioned Twitter, let's bring it back to some actual discussion here.
Oh,
real
okay.
quick
Okay.
At the end, we'll talk about WandaVision next week because we've all been watching.
Yeah,
it'll
it'll be
over next week, so we'll be able to talk about it. But man, what the fuck, internet? Like going nuts over the one line in the last episode. Like
That's actually a real thing. I saw that come up in my
Yeah.
news feed, and I was like, "That's some weird targeted bullshit." And
no, it's just I feel like
Wait, can I?
cynicism has become the currency of choice, especially on Twitter, and I was totally fine with that line. I think it's a good.
I thought
line.
that was the best line of the series so far.
Yes.
What?
And
Wait,
The
do people
thing-
hate this?
Yeah.
Well, people hate anyone who thinks it's good. It is
Well,
more
hate me,
what has been
please.
pointed out to me. Is
Someone-
that it's like
someone
go read
pointed
a
out-
book.
Yeah,
Things
someone
are more
pointed out
important.
that it was profound to them and it moved them. And of course, people just lost their shit and they were like,
Yeah.
read a fucking book, you fucking plebe.
And that's the
Oh,
thing.
fuck
is
off! It's a
like-
good line.
I know.
Well, and that's the thing is like some lines just mean more to other people. Like
At
sure,
whatever point in time, too, you could
Yeah,
you could just
yeah.
hear a line in a song at a certain point in your life, and you're like, "That is profound." And everyone's like, "What the fuck? That doesn't mean anything."
Yeah, and you might hear that song 10 years later and go, "No, that's kind of pretentious."
Yeah.
You know, but who cares? Like if something works for you, who cares?
Look, I know.
Like, let it work for you.
I think we were. I think for some reason we were told we can't say this anymore. But the "don't yuck somebody's yum" thing. All right, whatever it may be. But seriously, if you want to have reasonable discourse over whether a thing is good to a degree, fine. But don't ever tell somebody that like they can't feel something. Like if any piece of medium ever makes you feel anything, let it. For God's sakes, let it. Like, you know, that's what it's supposed to do. That's why people make things. They didn't like put it out there so that it can just be like, meh. You know, I'm so glad you spent 6 years crafting this whole movie and getting it together and putting it together, this video game, and, you know, it took hundreds of thousands of hours. And then, like, you're just like, my reaction, meh, wouldn't pay more than 49 cents.
Yeah, well, and I think too, like it's almost as if all the algorithmic nature of everything on the internet has kind of forced us into being like, it's a binary choice here. This is either a good thing or it's a bad thing, and anyone that disagrees with it is just they're wrong. Like, and I feel like that's how everyone pounced on that. Was it's like, no, it's not a good line. And it's like, to you, sure. Like, people are allowed to have different opinions, and it drives me crazy that people are just like, no, well, this is better. And it's like, what if they're both good? Who cares if the other thing's better, right?
I think the thing that bothers me the most about it is that the majority of the criticism came from people who liked the show.
Yeah.
It wasn't from like, oh, you're fucking Disney bullshit, fuck off. It was, look, my house may be covered from head to toe in Disney paraphernalia, but let me tell you something. Disney can't write for shit, and that line sucks, and fuck you. And it's like, what on earth? Like, and because of this, the horrible side effect of this is that line has become a fucking meme now, and it's going to join the ranks of the Martha bullshit as this thing we're going to discuss forever as being the line in the sand of whether or not something is good or not. And I'm on the internet a lot. I'm on the internet probably more than any of you, and there are just some days where I'm like, the internet was a mistake. Like, what is the fucking problem with people?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
that's
of
pretty much
everything
every day
going
for
on
me.
right now, for one person to go, this meant something to me, and the entirety of the internet go, wow, dude, fuck you, you fucking moron.
Is there a specific person that like got jumped about this?
Yeah, just some dude. And I don't know if this dude is like a shitbird or something like that. I don't know if maybe some of the animosity came because this guy's a problem. I don't know who the guy was. I saw the tweet going around, and then it was just everyone dogpiling on this guy, and that guy was the star of Twitter that day, and there's no reason for it.
He was the star of Twitter for the wrong reason though, because if he liked, for one, I really liked that line, and I think it fucking resonates with me. Like, I know we've all had, like, we've all of us have had our own, you know, bits of grief over the years, but I'm still dealing with a couple of mine. And yeah, that line kind of socked me in the chin, and I had to sit back and chew on it for a while, and I feel like it's accurate. Like the words are accurate to the experience.
Yeah.
Like why are you going to go out of your way and make a guy who liked that line the star of Twitter? Like, you reserve that for somebody who does some dumb shit, not just
I
oh my
think-
god, something spoke to me.
I think we're sadly we're living in the realm of like, I mean, I don't want to get melodramatic, but we are on the cusp of dealing with some serious like nuclear level depression and shit that is about to, like, if it's not even already happening, it's it's about to like spiral out of control for a lot of people, and it's like one of the many things that's like not even remotely being addressed. And unfortunately, I think it's just a sad case of misery loves company. It's like, well, I am feeling particularly salty and I hate everything, and I'm 20 years old and I've never experienced grief. Then I just want you to come down to the hate level that I'm on.
Yeah.
So
Maybe, I don't know. It's
And
I mean-
maybe it's my age, and maybe this year, this whole thing has made me feel my age more. But I think about like early episodes of this show, and how when there were things we hated, like when we watched Southland Tales, like I was just eager to fucking tear that movie a new one. And like I think I talked about like I said, oh, Richard Kelly, I'm sure he gives the best blowjobs in Hollywood or something like that, because I was just like, how the fuck would anyone let someone make this movie, and that was like how much anger I had. And it's just like, now I feel like if I watch Southland Tales again, I probably wouldn't like it, but I would focus on like, okay, yeah, that whole song in the middle of it is fucking amazing, like this amazing oasis in the middle of this thing. And that's what I've found myself doing, is like focusing on all these things that are the positives of whatever it is I'm watching, and thinking about Map of Tiny Perfect Things, like how much positivity was in that movie.
Yep.
And how I latched onto that because those characters like basically decided, we're in here, let's find all the best things in this place we're stuck in. And I feel like it's nice to be able to take that out and not be constantly searching for the cynicism and constantly searching for the negative, and always wanting to find the better thing and wanting to find the positive thing now. And 10, 15 years ago, that would not have been the case at all. I would just openly hate movies, and TV and whatever, and be like, if somebody likes that, well, fuck them, they're an idiot, And I feel like that is so much of what happened, is so many young people on the internet are just like, yeah, man, that's what it's about, just fucking tearing shit down. And I get where they're coming from, but I think age has tempered that so much in me, in that knowing that it's tougher to find experiences that are going to connect the way, movies in your childhood did. And I like that, even a show like WandaVision, which, I mean, at its face, it's a lot of goofy shit going on because it's superhero things, but that it can have this moment of it, and that it doesn't all have to just be about goofy superhero shit. Like, they can actually address something that matters to people and that people feel and people can relate to. And I feel bad for people that can't, and are like, no, that line's shit, it's pretentious bullshit, whatever, go read a book that's better, and it's like, okay, tell me which book is better, tell me, give me some examples of stuff that I'm gonna like better. And you know what, I may watch it and I may find something I like, but
see,
there's a way to approach it that isn't that.
exactly that, and that's something that's been recurring in my head as a theme for the last couple years, for the last 3 or 4 years, is like, you can be upset at something, you can not like something, you can say, I don't think that this was really presented well, or you can have those opinions, but if your instinct is to just like jump out and Karen about it, like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, there's always a way to approach whatever your goal is in a nicer way, in a calmer way, in a more constructive way.
But
I
also,
was talking about this.
what's
with
your goal
somebody.
though? Like that. I mean, you say like what? Like, are you going to change
Well, like-
someone's opinion? Like, why would you want
Well,
to
no,
take
no.
away something? I mean, yeah.
What I'm the leap that I made in my head, and the point that I was eventually going to get to, is like, for something like this, like, you can say, I don't really think that defines grief very well. Here's a piece of media or a piece of writing that I think deals with grief in a better way, because that's what WandaVision is basically all about, is grief right now, until some fucking space alien tries to obliterate the planet from orbit or whatever. But yeah, you can present another piece of media. You can go, I thought that line was a little bit hokey, but here's an essay I read, or here's a book that I read that has some really profound things to say about grief. I think you should read this. Present your argument, or present your situation in a better way.
Well, you kind of have to call bullshit when somebody is like, I really like this song, and it's like, you should listen to better music by, and it's like, well, then clearly you don't actually like anything better. You're just being contrarian and trolling or something, because like if you're like serious, you'd be like, that's nothing in comparison to, X, like it's, you would offer something to that table, and like, like clearly that's a derivative of this, blah, blah, blah. Like, somebody
If
on
you
Twitter
like
like,
that,
I
you'll
really
love
like
this.
Blurred Lines. It's like, oh yeah, well, you should really listen to this Marvin Gaye song, dumbass. Like,
Yeah. Well, you don't even have to say like dumbass. You can just
Well, I
say,
know,
okay,
just-
you like
yeah.
Blurred Lines, like,
If you like that, you're gonna love this.
Right.
If you like that, you're going to love this. I've seen so many things, and this is just going general now. I've seen so many things in the last several years where somebody just does something, that's buffoonery, or they make a mistake, and then they come in and like apologize, and they apologize in the least contrite way possible. They're like, yeah, well, I did it. Fuck you. And like, it's obvious some PR person wrote that, and I'm like, I could write a better apology. All you have to do is say, I fucked up, or somebody has a problem, and there's always a much nicer and a less shitty way to go about
Sure.
these things, like your contrary opinion or whatever. You can always do it without being an asshole.
Or at least bring a joke to the table. I mean, like a real joke, not the like air quotes satire or parody or whatever people say when they're saying awful things. But like, like
They just say, I'm just saying,
Right.
after it.
yeah,
That's
like,
what constitutes
I watch and have watched, like John Oliver, and it's like I don't always agree with everything he has, especially when he starts like getting opinionated on things for joke purposes. But it's just like he'll dunk on something and move on, and it's like it's no big deal. Like he has like an ongoing thing where it's like, how could you drink Mountain Dew Code Red? It's the most vilest thing ever, and I'm like, okay, you or somebody on your writing staff clearly, but. I still like it, but I'm not offended, like, just like, at least it's a joke, and clearly a joke, and like, take it that way. Like I feel like, like when I like to dunk on anime, I'm not just running and being like, anime sucks, bye. I could, that would just be dumb every day. Like if I'm going to do it, I'm going to bring something
and
to
at
it.
this point, like our audience knows the joke.
Sure.
They're in on the joke with us.
Right,
When it comes to, if you bring anime at me, I'll block you, that sort of shit. Like they get it.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of what can be appreciated too is if the target audience understands it and gets it, then they're with you.
Right.
And if not, then it's tougher to get the joke.
Yeah.
Then and I think about how hard it is to actually create something. Like there's lines, there's scenes, there's pieces in the movie that's in my head that I'll never get to make, but at least I have them. And then there's and some days I'm just like, man, that line's gonna fucking nail it. And then another day you think about it and you're like, man, that line's shit. That's just stupid. Like anyone's gonna watch this and gonna be like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, what's wrong with you? And it has to be so tough to actually make something and commit to it and be like, especially with earnestness, because I think that's when I talked about Samurai Cop 2. you know, and like basically like, yeah, we're gonna make this intentionally bad. And to me, that's like the cheapest fucking shit, you know, just to be like, yeah, this could have been good, but it's not, you know, and not, but just like not committing to actually being honest about something, I think is really what it boils down to. Is it's like movies like that aren't honest about what they're doing. They're just trying to be like, okay, you know, like, huh, get it? And I think it's the hardest thing to do is make a movie that is 100% earnest and honest about what it is and what it's doing and what it's saying. And I think in that WandaVision part, that's like them being as honest as they can about what they feel the theme of the show is. You know, it is about grief and loss and how sometimes we just don't cope with it well. And I think that's, you know, something like that's to be commended when you can sneak that into, you know, a superhero punch, you know, float in the air, laser beam thing, you know, to actually be able to have that in there and make that really the central conceit of the entire show is, you know, it's to be commended because it's hard to make things.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what so many people just don't realize, how hard it is to make something, especially on that level.
Yeah, and I've said before, but I always feel like the biggest gut punches are that's not even right, because you know it could be the funniest thing, the saddest thing, or just like suddenly whatever super sweet are the ones that come out of nowhere, like where it's like a genre switch, a flip of a switch nowhere. Like you kind of don't expect a line like that when you're watching WandaVision. You're just like, it's a superhero, you know. I mean, and maybe that's why people jump on it, because it's just like kind of fish out of watery for what we've seen so far. You know, like I was not expecting that, but that's to me like that's the best stuff. You know, like when the joke comes in the middle of the dramatic scene or something, you know, it's like breaking the tension, or
Yeah,
you know.
or vice versa. Like
Yeah.
the best episodes of Simpsons are the ones where they just are like thoroughly sincere at some point, and they just, you know, drop all the artifice. Like I think about like Bart's Comet. Like one of my favorite moments of that entire show is when they kick Ned. Like, you know, the comet's going to hit they're going to hit the town, destroy the town, and basically Homer gets Ned kicked out of his own shelter, so the rest of the town is there. So then so Ned just goes, okay, man, and leaves, and then starts singing, you know, whatever will be. And, you know, just starts going around the town. And then eventually they all come out and start singing it with him and wait for the comet to hit. And it's like, there are no jokes. Like, it's just like complete sincerity through that whole sequence. And then the jokes come right after that. But, you know, for like this minute long, it's like this amazing, heartfelt thing. And, you know, when you can throw that in the middle of a show where they literally kick Ned out of his own shelter for being Ned Flanders, you know, there's something, you know, it's affecting. And yeah, like you said, when you can switch genres like that and you can kind of come out of the blue, that's like how you get people, you know, is when it's unexpected like that.
Yeah.
So
I'm really surprised. Like I when we first started talking about this, I was really surprised that there was a reaction like that, because I kind of fell off Twitter. I got behind on Twitter again, and when I get behind, I start to like
it's good.
care less and less and less about Twitter. And so
Yes,
it's been
do
like
it.
it's been like a week that I haven't really checked Twitter, or more than a week. Maybe a little bit more than a week. And all I've seen elsewhere are like positive memes, like "fuck yeah, that line was awesome," and that line getting pasted into other situations. Like the one that I saw most recently was it pasted on a still from Up, and I was like, yeah, okay, that fits. Like this line fits in a lot of places. If you feel like taking the time to take a screenshot and post some impact text. But yeah, like I've seen just the most positive response to that. So I was
That
really
means you're
confused
following
for a
the right
second.
people.
Well, I mean, I still haven't been on Twitter and haven't seen any of the reaction from that on the Twitter. So,
Well, luckily in the in the world of Twitter, it had cycled itself out almost by like Monday afternoon. You know.
Okay, that's good.
It was like a weekend thing, but it was just
Yeah.
it's frustrating to see all that shit.
It's really weird. Look, I'm not in one of these camps of like this is right and this is good or this is bad, or I don't care. I want everything to be good. That's what I've always said. Like I want there to be a good ass Superman, Batman movie. I want there to be good ass Marvel movies. I want all the movies to be good. Otherwise, why would I watch movies? Like other than the theme of our show. But yeah, like I feel like when Marvel something like people jump on something about Marvel doing something wrong, it's like it's people usually trying to tell people not to enjoy it. Like you can't possibly like Captain Marvel. She's a woman. She can't do things. Like you can't like that line. It's in a show about superheroes or it's poorly written or read books. But then it's like on the other side, it's like people are like, I really didn't like Batman v Superman. We're like, no, this is good. I'm going to convince you it was good. It's like you're generally not changing anyone's opinion, but please don't try to bring it down. Like you could try to bring me up to your opinion, but like I'm also not generally going out of my way to just be like, hey, everything about this sucks. You should be ashamed if you like it. I'm just like, wow, that was my opinion. Is usually like that's not real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, except for anime.
Sure. True.
Sure, right. Because if you come at us with anime,
Yeah.
Yeah.
get blocked.
All anime sucks, and you should feel bad about liking it. By the way, big ups to our hashtag We Belong Together anime zone for having been well behaved this entire time so far. Good job.
Well, yeah, because I'm not in there.
I haven't had to. Well, no, I just mean I haven't had to go and delete any like gross anime shit.
Oh, I can't.
It's all been just normal anime shit.
I can't go in there because it would be silent because everyone is blocked.
Good job.
Yeah, I have that channel muted. I have no idea if there's any activity in there.
Like I have.
I have to go check
yeah.
to see if some like weird Nazi weeb furry shit is going on, so I can delete it and ban people just in
Yeah.
case.
Like I think there's that one. There's the wrestling one. I don't even remember, but there's one where I saw like something about anime or wrestling, and I went in there and I'm like, here is the link. I will not be responding to this. I know you guys are probably interested in it. Thank you for your time.
That was the
And then I
wrestling
left.
ring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
I check on the weebs to see how they're doing and to make sure they're not posting any
Yeah.
really inappropriate shit. Because
I'll jump in the sports ball channel like once, maybe twice a year. Like if I'm going to watch the Superb Owl, then I'll jump in there and live chat it.
Yeah.
Which we didn't even do this year. I think two
No.
of us said something like, "This game sucks."
Yeah, I
Yeah,
actually
maybe
started
Shane, you were
watching
right.
it. I literally fell asleep like at the beginning of the second quarter and didn't.
Yeah.
I woke up somewhere in the middle of the weird ass halftime show. Like it was like what was. I'm saying it's not weird because I didn't see it. I'm just saying like to wake up to what I saw. It was like I questioned reality for a good 30 seconds because it was like I don't know what's happening right now, and I was like I should probably just really go to bed.
It was okay. Halftime show was all right.
Yeah. Like I said, I have no idea because I never saw the whole thing in context. Just waking up when I did, it was like, where am I? What the hell's happening? Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Discord, we mentioned got a lot of great people in there. You can join them. If you email us, bmf@bmfcast.com, we will send you the link. Because we had some shitbirds, and it's just easier to keep them out by, basically knowing that you people listen to the show and you want to get in. So
We
the
tried.
only way you can find out.
We tried.
Yeah.
It was what, 2 years we had the fucking Discord open
more than
before
that.
Yeah.
before like Nazi furry brigade invasion.
Yeah.
So
It's
we
over
tried.
now. Yep.
We did our best, but we are not letting any rotten apples in because we don't want to spoil our bunch.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
But
So-
yeah, email us.
Yes, email us if you want in. Email us if you got anything you want to stay on the show. Again, bmf@bmfcast.com. Even
Or-
better. Go for it.
Oh, I was going to say, or if you want to call in, if you want to literally have your voice heard, give us a call at 910-5-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263. That is the Garfield phone, the BMFcast hotline. And yeah, we would love to hear from you. I know you've got plenty of time. You're sitting around in your house all day trying to avoid work.
In your house.
Call us up.
Aren't we
Yeah.
all?
Yes. Call us up on the Garfield phone.
And we tested it last week. It still works.
It does. Yeah. We received a message a few days ago, but we will be holding on to that message until the appropriate time.
Correct.
Okay.
so we know it works. Call us.
Yeah.
And visit the website, bmfcast.com. And visit the Patreon, patreon.com/bmfcast.
All those things.
Do,
All
do,
the
And go to
socials.
noquarters.net.
do all the things.
And play video games and watch movies and be kind to each other and wear your fucking mask and get your vaccine. And
Yeah, and Texas and Mississippi listeners, we feel sorry. We wish we could do something about it.
good luck.
Our state is probably next.
Yep.
So,
Don't come to Florida. We're full.
Be excellent to each other.
yep.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get out of here, shall we?
Let's,
Okay.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And this is BMFcast Variety Hour out.
I appreciate the new Variety Hour voice.
Variety Hour.
Variety Hour.
Yeah.
Indubitably.
Do you have a different mic there, BJ? I keep seeing it pop into frame.
Oh, no, it's the same one that I've had.
Okay. Just
It's covered by hell.
The Nazi furries, would those be furies?
Yes. Yes, they would be.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't want to put that in the middle of the real show. I just figured I'd save that. I also bit my tongue hard when you were talking about the time loop movie. You're like alternate title names. You're like, I don't know, it's Teen Girl Time Go, and I was like, that could also be the title of Alan versus Pharaoh. Yeah. See, but I didn't say that until now.
What episode is this? 35?
Yes.
It is. Oh yeah, I guess I should hit stop, huh?
Sure.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Export as wave. BMFQ BH035-MAKI. Save.
I like that we all have different names that we
Yeah,
save ours as.
it's fun.
You know what they are, Chuck.
I named my two tracks based on what they are.
He does.
Me and the studio track.
Correct.
Do you name it Me?
No. I speak in the third person.
Me.
I mean, Harlow speaks in the third
me.
person.
Me.
All
All right.
right. I have a question real quick.
Sure.
Quarantine of Solace. Whatever happened?
I got furloughed is what happened, and then
That's
I ran
Narrowed
out of
back.
time because at the time I was like, I'm gonna edit every day. All these bonus episodes are gonna be great, and then I got furloughed, and I was like, fuck everything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Wait,
there's
what was
one.
Quarantine of Solace?
It
I was
Was that where
stringing
you-
together all the Bond.
Oh, all the Bond chat.
Yeah.
Right.
What did you get? Did you get up to? We were through the Roger Moore ones, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, all the content's still there. You just have to go to the
I'll finish
appropriate.
it.
I'm saying you can
I
go to
like
the
to have them
appropriate
in one
shows
spot.
and
Yeah.
pull them from the second halves.
Yeah.
Did you
No,
did you release any of that?
oh yeah.
Yeah. There were
Okay.
a couple episodes that went on the main feed. And that was like right at the beginning of the quarantine too. I mean, that was like
Yeah.
right
I was.
after we stopped recording together.
Yeah. So the second episode does the first 4 Roger Moore movies, so it's through Moonraker. But it's because our discussions kept getting longer.
Yeah.
So it was like a 2-hour compilation. I
Yeah,
was like,
because
I
it's funny.
can't-
The first one, I'm like, yeah, Dr. No. It's
Yeah.
pretty good.
It's
I
a
liked
Bond
it.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
James Bond's in it.
It's like 3 minutes.
Yes.
And then, like, by the time we get to Goldeneye, we're like, all right, this is like a second show.
Right.
Don't
Like,
deny.
it was. It really had gotten to the point when we were all watching it. It was like the second half was another episode.
Yeah. Yeah, no, when I was editing those, I was like in cheerleader mode. I was like, all right, everybody, we're going to get through this. Nothing's going to happen to me. And then shit happened to me. And I was like, fuck y'all. I got to take care of myself. So,
Yeah, it is interesting hearing like there are kids who already have nostalgia for like the quarantine period.
What?
At the very beginning, where it was like everybody was home. You know?
there was a time at the beginning of the quarantine where a lot of people were like, you know what, this will be fine. We'll have fun. We'll cook out. We'll do neat things.
Because they were
and-
like, it's going to be for like 3 or 4 weeks, and we'll be
Right.
fine. We just have to
Right.
do this. If we all do this, it'll be fine. It'll go
it'll
away.
be a
when
neat
we
all-
change. You
It was
know,
like
it'll
we all
be
got a vacation almost.
yeah, it'll be a fun departure from the hustle bustle of our daily lives. It'll be fine. And then we fucked it up.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was like, I feel like for the first week, yes, it was kind of like a fun vacation-ish feel because it also didn't have a lot of menace or anything. It was just like, we're doing this precautionary, like,
Yeah.
not a lot of cases here yet. Not a lot of people dying or anything. And
We'll just knock this out, and then we'll go back about our business, and then.
Nope.
Yeah, I have nostalgia for the anger I felt after we fucked it up.
Well, yeah. So like the first couple weeks, I think we were like having Zoom meetings, and we were like, you know, we're all like, all of us were just like, we're all figuring out how to work from home together.
Yeah.
And we did like at my work, we did like some Zoom happy hours, or like we kind of like each other. We kind of like spending time with each other. Like, we haven't done an actual happy hour thing. Let's do a Zoom happy hour. And we had drinks and all that. That wore out fucking quick, though.
oh yeah,
It
I
was
think
like,
they suggested
by
that
April,
for us.
it was fucking done.
Well, they suggested that like we did one or two things during work hours where it was just like the end of the day thereabouts. I mean, I always had like a bonus hour because I'm like there an hour than everyone else, but like we would try things where it's like, all right, if you want to crack a beer or whatever, go for it. Like do play Uno or something online, just some distraction or kind of thing. And then they were like, anyone want to do like virtual happy hours like after work? And everybody was like, hey, go fuck yourself. Like we say yes to that when you're buying us alcohol, but like I'm not going to provide my own alcohol and hang out with you after work.
Well, that's the thing. Like my friends wanted to get together, like do a Zoom thing around Christmas, and like all of us were just like, nah, man. Like I don't want to be on a computer talking to you people. Sorry. Like I like all of you, but especially my friends who are teachers are like, absolutely not. I don't want to be anywhere near a computer once my school day is over, so to speak.
Yeah. I don't want to pay any like structured or strict attention anymore. Like, I mean, I'm in the same room, basically in the same spot for 18 hours a day. Like, because I sit in the same spot for work as I do for entertainment.
Yeah.
And I don't want to like, I want to be on the receiving end of entertainment. I don't want to have to be putting any effort into anything.
He says as he's on a podcast.
This is a podcast?
Entertain ye.
Holy shit.
Look, this is
Wait, four
basically a
white
job.
dudes with beards checks out.
Yeah, definitely
Yep,
a podcast.
It's a podcast.
God damn it, I didn't realize.
Mine was weird because like, getting laid off like literally as everything was happening.
Yeah, your boss pulled the trigger quick.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was weird because it was just, at the time it was just an excuse. Like I was like, oh cool, I have an excuse not to leave the house. So I can just chill out and play video games. I can look for jobs for a few hours and then, wait on that goddamn unemployment hell site and get my stuff logged in. And then I can hang out for the rest of the day, and then I got a job within 3 months. So it was just kind of like, okay, now I guess I'm going back to work again. So yeah, it's very weird. And it's still weird going into work and like, having everyone have to wear a mask at whatever time and then having to give dirty looks to people who don't have it over their nose and just all that shit. You'd think we'd have figured it out after a year, but people just can't.
I think that's the line. I think that's when the communal experience started to break, which was when half the country decided they were fucking stupid and pushed back on all of this and ruined it. Is when everyone was like, okay, this isn't fun anymore.
It's when those people wanted to get haircuts.
Yeah.
And so they fucking stormed the Capitol or whatever.
Right. And it's like, I can't have a fun Zoom meeting with coworkers because I know at least two of you are fucking assholes about this and I don't want anything to do with you. Not you, but I mean like, work people kind of thing.
Yeah. You really wonder how everything would have gone down with different leadership. Like
it would have been so easy to you just say, look, we got to do this. We defeat this thing, we get it over with, and we move on. That's what America does. And instead, it was just like, well, I don't want to wear a mask, so you shouldn't either. And it created this whole fucking army of fucking idiots.
I've said it we were a 2-year-old that was in timeout, and we were at the 2-minute and 55-minute mark of being 3 minutes in timeout. And the punishment for breaking that was go to start the 3 minutes over. And then we just kept doing it again and again and again and again. And it was just like, if you could just sit the fuck still for 3 minutes, this will be over and you could proceed with your life.
Yeah.
And now 500,000 people have died.
Right.
Yes. For needlessly, for no reason.
Yeah, and even if we get the vaccine, like I don't know how comfortable I'll be. I don't know how long it'll take before I'm comfortable with everything. You know, even after Jen and I have it.
Well,
I just don't know.
I'm still going to probably wear a mask until the end of the year. I might celebrate the new year by throwing all my masks into a fucking bonfire, but I'll probably still be wearing them for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And I don't give a shit if it's like 100 degrees in June and people are looking at me like I'm stupid. I'm still wearing my fucking mask.
Yeah, I'm worried for the day that my workplace says you don't have to wear them anymore, because I can name at least a dozen people who will immediately throw it in the trash and never consider wearing one again. There's people who still come in every day and pick up a mask out of the disposable mask thing. I'm like, dude, it's been a fucking year. Buy one. Go to Target. Buy a fucking 5-pack for $5. For Christ's sake.
Yeah. Even there's one I can understand if you're double masking, like using a disposable with, a cloth on top. That'd be fine. But still, it's just.
But yeah, coming in every day, you have to wear one every day, and then going to the front desk and being like, I need to get a mask. It's like, how? Every day, how? How the fuck? And yeah. When that happens, I might have to quit. I legit might be like, you know what? If I'm not vaccinated, fuck it. I'm not too legit. Yeah. I will quit.
I was workshopping that.
I told my boss to, they're allowing people to come back to work, and the conditions are you got to sign in, you got to do the temp scan, you got to wear a mask. But I told my boss, I was like, I'm not going back to work until period. I'm not going back to work. But
I live here now.
Yeah. I'm not going back to work until I won't feel comfortable working in the office until I and all of my coworkers are vaccinated. Mm-hmm. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks later, my boss's boss sent a message through that was like, by the way, you guys are just work from home forever. You don't have to go back to the office. Bye. Have fun. So I don't want to say that I'm the catalyst for that, but I'm glad that they're
good.
That they're
I'm glad for
taking
you
this
that.
They're taking the work from home revolution seriously, because most of us don't need to fucking be in an office to do our jobs.
No.
Chuck does maybe. But
well, Jen gets so much more done here because she just doesn't get constantly interrupted. And if the phone rings, she can ignore it if she knows that she's got something more important that's happening, that she has to work on.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas if someone comes up to your desk, you can't. It's like, all right, I guess I need to listen to what you need, even if what you need is not important in any way.
Yeah.
But her job, they keep making her renew, and it's not FMLA. It's an ADA thing, is what they've treated it as. So she has to keep getting a renewal from a doctor every 2 months to extend the deadline for when she has to come back into work.
So what's her doctor saying? No, it's too fucking dangerous?
Yeah, it's
you idiots.
It's you still have a heart condition, and if you get COVID, it may kill you. That's basically what the note has to say. But they have to make her go in to get a doctor's note every few months, and it's still got the heart condition, still could kill you.
That's silly.
It's what in the shit's name, people? Yeah, it shows which companies actually like understand what's happening. And you would think so many of them would be like, dude, we're
Speaking
saving
of
so
masks.
much. Yeah. Like, you would think so many would be so happy about saving money and not having to air condition the building, you know, just all that shit. And like nobody's
Yeah.
running their computers here. Like their power bills must be nothing these days. But so many places are just like, no, we want people we want butts in seats. And
Yeah.
I'll never fucking understand that either.
Well, I think getting out from underneath sales, because the sales wants to micromanage everything. That's why companies like Salesforce are billions upon billions of dollars, because sales folks want to they need to justify all the layers of management that sales has. Sales has 987 layers of management everywhere you go. And all of those fuckers need to justify their jobs. So they need to be able to look at somebody and bother them at any given moment in time. And getting out from underneath that has helped me escape the micromanagement bullshit. But I totally agree about getting more work done. Like, don't tell any of management this, but I get my work done in like a tenth of the time that it used to take me at the office.
Yeah.
I don't have some shit stain coming over to me, you know, with 3 martini lunch breath yelling at me about, you know, whatever they fucked up on their ads.
Or
they
somebody
just
yelling into their speakerphone 2 cubicles down.
right. They just yell it like through Teams now, but
Yeah.
at least I don't have to smell the martini breath.
Yeah. Or just leaving their phone on not on vibrate and not
Oh,
answering
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
There should
Don
be-
fucking Fonder. I'm calling you out, Don Fonder.
Yeah.
Wherever you are.
There should be a death penalty for that.
We're still alive.
Yeah, you should probably take us
Yeah.
offline.
I don't care.
All right.
He doesn't work
Yeah.
for the Times Union anymore. He can go
okay.
fuck himself.
Fuck him.
All right. Just
You should still take us offline.
okay. Just throwing that out there.
Let's keep
No one
talking
ever
shit.
said turn us off the YouTube. So
Yeah, we can delete this. Who cares?
Good night, Don Founder.
what? Delete the whole live stream?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who cares?
You ever wondered, like, what if Ned Flanders was a complete asshole? That's Don Fonder.
Yeah. That is incredibly accurate.
All right.
It's true.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, we're still online? I thought you
night.
took us off.
Good night, Don.
I don't
Fonder.
care who knows it.
I thought that was a weird way to end in case we just stayed around.